Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yeah, that's what we settled on the other week. Gag used it yesterday, so we'll go with that one. Good afternoon. How are we all doing? Welcome into twitch.tv/ice cream uploads. My name is Graham D, and I always talk like this.
Without my voice mod?
No. Good afternoon. My name is Graham D. I'm joined by the man that we call Bibby. We are Ice Cream Uploads, and we absolutely didn't choose to wear matching hoodies and hats today. It's just one of those things. Let's bring you in closer for a little bit of a closer look. Yes, we 100% didn't sync this up, but it's just one of those things. It's just one of those things. If you at home are also wearing a white hoodie and a black baseball cap, then do feel free to let us know. That would be very much appreciated. You don't have to, but
Pictures are I don't believe you.
Yeah, exactly. Get in the Discord, ! Discord in the chat if you do want to get involved. So how are we all doing? I want to shout out to Tito for getting in the chat first this morning.
Yeah, I mean, he's always first, isn't he?
He was first after Lake.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was the first to be in second.
That's not first in my book.
Yeah, no.
Not in my book.
No. I appreciate you trying though, Tito. I mean, you got to give him the points for the effort though, because he dropped in, and not only did he say first, but he added a capper after it, like first, and he wasn't first.
Got it.
Oh no. But anyway, Lake, welcome in. Tito, welcome in. I was only first because of Butterfingers versus OnePlus Nord Screen. Gaggard says, good morning. Nope, damn it, it's not. It's not. West, there's only one time, and it's scoop time. You goddamn right. It is, without a doubt, factually correct. It is 10 a.m. Ish. The time now is 10 a.m. Do feel free to get involved with us over the next hour or so, as we're going to bring you the scoop. Let me carry on going through the chat before I do give you the intro. Timeless says, sorry, I would have been first, but I had to promote the stream for you. I mean, Timeless is out there doing God's work. So I mean, none of this fighting for plaudits in the chat, honestly.
Just does it, doesn't it? Just gets on with it. Doesn't want any thanks, pat your backs, or anything like that. You know what I mean?
We appreciate you all. It's fine. We appreciate you all. Well, hello there, Nigio. Lake says it's 2:29. What the hell? Oh, is that? That's finished. Il Pavai? Paiva? I don't know.
Exclamation mark bingo.
It says 2:39, mate. That's what it says. Nice one. Cheers, lad, for that. We know you chat first thing in the morning and discuss what you're wearing, James. 100%. Tito raiding my chat last night.
Was Tito streaming?
Was it? What? Give me the details, Enix. Tito was in your chat. I did drop in for a few seconds, didn't say anything. I dropped back out again because I thought, actually, do I really want to be in Jordan's chat? No.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Channel hopping pre-Fast 9, which I finally watched. Got round to it. So when you plan to wear your new insert coin kit, you fail. When you don't plan it, you wear matching outfits. 100%. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Did you know that if you have an Xbox, you can get Game Pass where for a low monthly fee of only $10.99, you can get access to hundreds of games, including day one releases, and even EA games. You can even get the first 3 months for £1. Nice.
I might be updating.
Chatbot.
Yeah.
Ooh, you love to see it.
Just do it on the fly, innit?
So that one that was in there, where did you get that from?
I just sent it myself, because I sent a load of commands to myself on Slack, so then I can copy and paste them. And I thought, shit, how do I actually get it onto that PC, because it's a different PC?
Can we not just like export the file and import the file?
You did that. You exported it, but it won't recognise it on here. It's a completely different file format, despite using the same thing.
Bizarre. Maybe
so this will only accept like 2 different file formats.
Is this chatbot like out of date or something? Does it need updating to recognise new?
Usually it tells you it does need updating when it pops up, but it isn't. But either way, yeah, the file format it doesn't recognise is coincidentally the one that we've got.
Okay. There you go. Nice. Vern dropping a lurk. Hey, take your seat at the back of the ice cream van. I appreciate you dropping in. This is Danny Day 83 with the ish. It's fine. It's 10 a.m. Ish. Close to the top 1% on Infinite now. Nice. In the studio. Ken! Welcome in. How's things? You playing? You on stream? You been playing? What you doing? What you looking at?
You know when someone types in lurk,
yeah.
How do you make it so that it's that person that comes up first?
It's something like
open bracket
name or something like that, but I don't actually know.
Okay. Well, you can carry on, and I'll. That's definitely the wrong.
Nice. Okay.
Wrong mouse.
Nice. Well, I will do the intro. How are we all doing? Welcome into twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. My name, as you can see on the screen, is Graham Day. I'm joined by the man that we call Bibby, who is absolutely 100% doing important things and not just setting up the chat bot whilst we're on stream. We've done all this stuff already. I have to be fair, on 2 different PCs. This has just happened to be the third one. Anyway, we are Ice Cream Uploads, and in true Ice Cream fashion, this is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast, if we do say so ourselves. We go live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads each and every single weekday at 10 a.m.-ish. It's now a little bit after 10 a.m. Let's just put it that way. So we go live at 10 a.m.-ish. We stay live for around an hour or so, and we give you our thoughts and our impressions on the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories from the world of video games. We then want your thoughts and impressions. We then want your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. And that's kind of how this works. So if you're in the chat, please do feel free to get involved. And it's important that you do, because even though we are live on Twitch right now, this is not the only place that people consume this content. 105,000 people have consumed The Scoop through our on-demand devices too. So we do have the live stream on Twitch, but we have a video on YouTube and an audio podcast on iTunes and Spotify and SoundCloud and Google Play. There is lots of places where people watch and listen to this podcast on demand. So make sure if you're on Twitch, you do get involved on behalf of all those beautiful people that do watch and listen on demand later on. But don't get involved right here, right now in the chat.
Right here.
Right
now. Right here. Right there.
Nice. There you go.
I think I figured it out.
As mentioned, if you're in the chat, if you haven't said hello already, please do feel free to do so. We do have a bunch of stories for you today. I will tell you right now that our lead story is that PlayStation might be going mobile. PlayStation on the go?
Oh my god, OMG, what the hell?
Face? Well, a new Sony patent for mobile controller has been discovered. This is by Ed Nightingale at Eurogamer, and the tagline says, PS on the go. We'll then follow that up with, as GOG posts, a year-to-date loss, CD Projekt pledges to bring it back to basics. The online store will return to a curated selection of DRM-free games. Then Halo Infinite will give more XP for players' first 6 multiplayer games each day. This is written by Chris Scullion at VGC, and it says, starting on Wednesday, players will get XP quicker for simply playing the game. And then we will finish things off with a VG247 article that says, Generation Zero is the latest surprise arrival on Xbox Game Pass. So if you've got Xbox Game Pass, which a lot of you have, and you want something else to play, Generation Zero could be the one. We'll go through all that and all of the other news as we go through the day. Before we start, though, are we all set? What you doing?
Well, it said to put like open brackets to user.name, and it's not words. It's just typed in what I put in. So we'll have to sort that one out later on.
I can't remember what I've got at home, so
I can't remember what I've got on mine either.
I will have a look. I'll try to do the export kind of thingy again. I have no idea what's happened to Tito's comment there, but every time he's put an,
it's an emoji, that isn't it? This doesn't read it.
It's not though. It's literally just every time he's put an S.
Oh, amazing.
So what you're saying is Sony is doing what Xbox has done for ages, but probably not as good. Next, you'll be telling me they're doing some sort of subscription service for access to games.
Well, Games Pass, exclamation mark Game Pass does work. I know that one for an absolute fact.
So yeah, there you go. Try exclamation mark Game Pass now. See if that does work. More XP is a good start to fixing Halo Infinite's multiplayer issues. Absolutely, 100%. But yeah, no, Sony is doing what Xbox has been doing for ages by making things mobile. I mean, no, Sony just usually plays games, good games.
I suppose they just develop and have all of these fantastic. Well, just the one studio.
It's just the one studio.
Just the one. Yeah, that's what I was going to go for. It's just the one studio actually. But yeah. Like I say, PlayStation do things better.
I mean, if you need to make it so that you can play your games on the go because they're not really got any substance, then fair enough. Yeah. Okay, it's fine, all right. The console war's over. We will jump into the first news article as we have some absolute bargain. Look at me, 70% of the page, you guys can't see this yet, but 70% of the page on screen is advertisements. God damn.
Let's close that down. And there we go.
Nice.
Does anyone want to see not ad-free viewing?
Oh! It's just look at all of that. BT 0 zip zilch. Well, I mean, BT, I absolutely would love to take your internet, but you're not going to be any faster than Sky, so no, you're all right. No, thank you. Anyway, this article written by Ed Nightingale at Eurogamer says, new Sony patent for mobile controller discovered. PS on the go. Sony has reportedly patented a new controller for use with mobile devices. The patent was published by Sony Interactive Entertainment's Japanese division and shows a PS4-esque controller with a screen in the center. Only the controller is part of the patent, suggesting it would be used to slot a mobile screen in the centre. According to VGC, the patent describes, quote, a left side grip portion and a right side grip portion gripped by the left and right hands of the user, end quote, as well as this is a new quote, a shaft, easy to get, a shaft portion that can be tilted by the user and detect the tilting direction and tilting amount of the shaft portion. End quote. So you can see the image there. The PS4 DS4-esque controller with the screen in the middle. PlayStation controllers are already compatible with mobile devices via Bluetooth, but this new patent would be in line with third-party controllers that bookend the mobile device. Razer Kishi, anyone? Mm-hmm. Earlier this year, Sony began a push into the mobile market. A job listing for head of mobile PlayStation Studios SIE revealed plans to, quote, focus on successfully adapting PlayStation's most popular franchises to mobile. Jim Ryan, president and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment, later confirmed, quote, we have been thinking about how players enjoy our content and have had some early success with experimenting with mobile games and apps to provide more choice to gamers. Mobile is just one of the areas we're exploring to reach millions of gamers beyond our platforms. PlayStation has a huge catalogue of diverse first-party IP that can transition to smartphone gaming and complement our AAA games or live service games. We are exploring the mobile market with some wonderful PlayStation franchises, so please stay tuned. Right, well, Wipeout Rush has already been confirmed for mobile devices coming to iPhone and Android in early 2022. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, PlayStation is back in the handheld game, is the subject line that we're going with. I'm a big fan of this. And I know that you are a big fan of this. Don't you have some form of mobile gaming device?
I do. I have a Razer Kishi.
Details. Give us more.
So I actually love using my Kishi. At this moment in time, though, I can't actually use it with this phone. I've got the Google's Pixel 6. It's a bit too big to fit in. So the bottom part will fit in, but the top part doesn't because the camera is raised. So at this moment in time, I can't use it. With this PlayStation controller, I mean, this is going against the grain at this moment in time, but I genuinely think that the PlayStation controller is much more comfortable in my massive hands. I mean, the Xbox One controller as well is just as nice. That fits equally as well in my hands. So having a controller that I can split, if you was to split the PlayStation controller right down the middle and then have them on the end of my mobile phone, like that, so I'd be holding it like this, that is a massive dub. Like the Razer Kishi is a nice controller. I genuinely think it's a little bit too small. I think it needs the grooves at the bottom. It needs the handles. You know, like you can get, you can put your Switch into a grip, shall we say, so that it has the handles that come out at the bottom, so it's a lot more comfortable. So it's like holding a controller rather than holding the console. If you hold a Switch for too long, it kind of cramps your hands up, especially when I've got hands as big as mine. So having a controller that has the bezel, that has the grips that come out at the bottom, so you've got a firm grip on it, that's the best way to be able to do it. And I love the PlayStation controller. The new ones, the DS4, personally, I think is a lot better than the DS5 in terms of the shape of it and the buttons itself. But obviously, it's the DS5 controller needs to be a little bit bulkier because it has a lot more technology and haptic feedback and all that shit. So if it was to split those up and then have them as bookends, the column on the end of your mobile phone, that would be all up for that equally. I'd be the exact same if Xbox was to do it as well. I think the Xbox One might be a little bit more of a problem because it would be like the Switch because it's the analog sticks at the top on one side and bottom of the other, so it's very Switch-like in that regard. So I'd much prefer them either to be at the bottom, both at the bottom or both at the top. It's a lot more comfortable then for long periods while you're holding your phone up like this. But overall, I don't strictly think that they are doing this just so that they have PlayStation games on the market. I think they will be using this as potentially a Game Pass subscription model. I know we've got PlayStation now. I don't know if you can stream. I think you can just remote play at this moment in time onto your console. I don't know whether or not they've got a designated app there you are able to stream games from wherever you want on your mobile.
I don't know if PlayStation Now is available on mobile in that sense. So you can use the PS app for remote play, but yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Which actually, no, yeah. When I've played on my mobile, it has always been what's on my PS5 kind of thing. So it's not.
Imagine remote playing PS Now. That just wouldn't be great, would it?
It'd be like chess. It's like I have my move.
Yeah.
Click. You wait, and then you have your move.
It wouldn't be a great experience. But having I love this. If we can get more first-party controllers that do this, the better, because I think they would look after them a lot more than the other bands. Like the Razer Keisha controller, it's great. It's not great for long periods of use, so I'm fairly certain. I know Tito has one as well, so I imagine he will back me on this one. But for long periods of use, it's not great. The build quality isn't fantastic either. The triggers feel dead flimsy.
See, I got a Kishi, so we were going to do something with Razer Kishis, and it never happened in the end. And I got a Razer Kishi, but I have an iPhone and I got an Android Kishi. But the build quality felt decent enough to me. But then again, I never actually put it on my phone and used it. I just felt it as, this feels like a sturdy bit of kit. But I suppose if it's just a loose component, you can never really tell what it feels like. I mean, it definitely satisfies an itch in terms of it's not greatest. So in terms of what's is it anthropometrics? Is that what it's called? Where something is designed to fit your body properly.
I thought it was like ergonomic or something.
It probably ergonomics is probably the better word. I think anthropometrics is
I've never heard that word before in my life.
I think that's more of a design engineering phrase. I think that's where things are designed to fit a body shape as opposed to be designed for body comfort kind of thing. So it's. But I did a CAD design course.
Okay.
GMVQ and manufacturing. Ergonomics is definitely the better word. So ergonomically, a Kishi is better than using your phone screen, because using your phone screen, it's just like you get the claw. A Kishi gives you, it probably doubles your amount of time before you get claw hand. Whereas adding an actual controller on that is pretty decent. My sort of question though is there a need for this? Like, would you see yourself getting the thing with the Razer Kishi is, whilst it doesn't have the protruding limbs that a controller like an Xbox or a PlayStation controller has, it's more like a Switch.
Yeah.
But it can just go like stuck in your pocket because it doesn't have the protruding limbs. Would you carry effectively an Xbox controller around in your pocket?
Not in my pocket. I'd have one in my backpack, definitely, because I carry my Switch around it. I bring my Switches upstairs. I bring it everywhere with me. I do need to buy a grip for it because, again, excessive long plays, it cramps my hands up. So having something, if I knew, I mean, again, even if it's an Xbox one, and Xbox xCloud doesn't necessarily work for me at this moment in time. I don't know why my internet at home is more than fast enough to be able to do it. Like if I was to play it through my PC, xCloud through my PC, or through my Xbox One, it's absolutely fine. But for some reason, it just lags like hell on my phone. Even if I go into, I'm not in a 5G area yet. If I go towards Manchester City Centre, I am, but in Hyde, there's just loads of black spots. So it just doesn't work. So if something like that was to happen and I can use it, then yeah, I mean, I pay for the subscription already. I'm more than happy to be able to go on and do that. But yeah, I mean, best case scenario is if Switch ever actually partnered up with Microsoft and Game Pass come to that or something, that would be best case scenario, because then you'd only need the one grip because they already have the console there. But in terms of being able to game on the go, I use my Razer Kishi not just for playing Android games that are on the market. I mean, some of them are absolutely toilet. Like, you wouldn't even download them. Played it, uninstalled straight away. Like,
nope.
Yeah, but playing emulation on it, like PlayStation 1 emulator, being able to play Resident Evil wherever I go. Like, I've got my RG350, which is a fantastic piece of kit. Again, really small. Probably the same size as my mobile now, to be fair. But the controller on that, after you play it for like an hour, starts to starts to hurt because it's all smoothed edges. It's a rectangle with smoothed edges. There's no bezel for you to be able to put your fingers underneath. Your fingers just cramp up. But having something that's as good as these and what you could potentially have with an Xbox One controller or a new Xbox controller, they're designed for long plays. They're not designed for throwaway hour games. They're designed to be there for a long time in your hands.
Well, the reason I was asking that is like, could you see yourself using this? Is because I bought something like a Razer Kishi is a good bit of kit if you're into mobile gaming. If you play a lot of time playing games on your mobile phone, a Razer Kishi is a good option, 100%. I mean, !Discord in the chat will give you a link to our Discord. Within the scoop section itself, this story was shared by David, and then Tito has shared a picture of the Razer Kishi because he has a Razer Kishi. What do you reckon to your Razer Kishi, Tito? Do you like it? Are you a fan of the Kishi? Oh yeah, I'll put that on screen. Nice. So yeah, this is within our Discord itself. So there's the Razer Kishi. Obviously, if you look just behind that, you can see the PlayStation concept artwork, and there's the Kishi. One of Tito's comments is saying, not being funny, but how big is the PS controller? Wouldn't the grips be absolutely massive? I mean, I have small hands, but this would be OG Xbox controller size, right? Because if you look at like the size of a phone screen, and then you're having the controller coming off the side of that, I mean, it'd have to just be the same size as a controller, though. They'd have to make it be just a normal controller that expands and then has the clips in the middle. I don't think they could make it to scale in that sort of sense. I reckon so. But anyway, the reason I'm asking that is like, is there really a place for PlayStation to be doing that? Because you can sync already devices to your mobile phone, Bluetooth devices like your DS4, like your DualSense, your PS5 controller, like your Xbox controller. They can all link to your iPhone or to your Android phone.
Yeah.
And I got a bit of plastic that cost me like £8 from Amazon, which hooks over my controller and then has a clamp for my phone. And then I just sit there and hold onto my phone and my controller, and I've got my phone on top of it. And it's like, that's an actual controller that's been designed ergonomically and perfectly pairs Bluetooth-wise to my phone. Why do I need that as well? Because if anything, I'm not like sitting like this holding on to my controllers at the end of my phone screen. I'm sat there playing a controller how it's meant to be held, with all of the functions and extra buttons, with the touchpad in the middle, with everything else. And then I've got a full clear screen that's got nothing in the way of it on top of it. So I don't know. I don't know. There's probably a market there. There's probably reasons there. I'm just thinking, you've got controllers and you've got functions. Surely going down the clip-on accessory angle is the better way to go for me. But yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you with that. Like that is I think that's a much more viable option. Because you even nowadays you can get, if you have a Pro controller, you can buy a mount that wraps around your controller, which then only holds your screen rather than the Joy-Cons on the side. I think that's a much better option than holding your Switch with the Joy-Cons. Again, the Joy-Cons for me are useless. I very rarely use them unless I'm actually in handheld mode. But I need a grip. Like my PS Vita, for instance, that was one of the best pieces of tech, I'd say, probably in like the last 15 years. At the time, it was revolutionary. The games that you could play on it, and the graphics-wise, it was like you was playing a PlayStation 3. It was fantastic. It's just, it wasn't a great design. It hurt after a while. Like, it just, I don't know. It could have been so much better.
Having to use the touchscreen at the back, because you, like, if you're playing your PS Vita like by normal, you've just got your hands on the end of it. But then if you haven't used the touchscreen, which I don't know if you can see this, let me bring you a little bit closer. So PS Vita, usually you'll sit there kind of like that kind of thing, but in the middle of the back of it was the touchscreen, so you'd end up kind of being sat more like that to use the back of it. But playing games like that with your hands fully stretched out, you're like,
I had to use a grip. I had to buy one. That was like a day one purchase, to buy a grip for the Vita, just so I could play it for longer periods of time, and especially when I managed to get Pez on it as well. The longer playthroughs ended up coming on a little bit longer, but forget about that. I do not pirate. I do not play games illegally.
You won the game, so you just emulating. That's all. It was fine. It's fine. Okay, let's jump back through the comments. See what you guys are saying. Ooh, we got faces we don't usually see in the morning. Swash is in. Good morning.
Morning, mate.
Hey. Morning-ish, chaps. Timeless says, good, about time. I don't know what that one was, but thank you, Timeless. So what you're saying is, oh no, we've got past that one. More XP. Oh my god, chat is disappearing. You guys talking too much. How dare you have conversation on a podcast that's about conversation? More XP is a good start. Oh no, we got past that one. Exclamation mark PlayStation now. Oh dang, sorry, wrong command. Sky is greater than BT. Yeah, both crap in my house. Both crap for me. Sam Tondorje says, hey guys, I love when you read me a while ago. I'm looking to go pro and maybe even explain my story. I know Enix. Okay. Tito says, not being funny, but how big is the PS controller? Wouldn't the grips be absolutely massive? I mean, I have small hands, but this would be... Oh, I've gone that one already. The Recon is the best controller at the moment. Which one's the Recon?
The Recon.
What's the Recon controller? So I know... Is it the Nacon?
Oh, okay. Turtle
okay.
Beaches.
Okay.
Jesus. That's like a flight simulator controller. What are all these buttons? What the shit?
Put this on the screen. So this is what the Recon looks like. Full on Top Gun. Flying through the Beeper Zone.
You know what? It's very nearly a Power A-ish controller because it's only 55 quid and it's got a load of buttons. I bet it's got paddles on the back.
Well, the Power A ones. Is that what you use, Lotus?
I've got Power A upstairs. Is that what you Switch? Yeah, the Zelda version.
Okay, well, Lotus, I think, and it might have been Chelt as well, who we're playing with on the weekend, have both got Power A fusions. And they both say those are decent ones.
Yeah, you see, mine's only the basic one because it costs like £25 because the Pro controllers, I think, are still like 45, 50 quid. It's a lot of money. But I think the one that might be the Power A. What do you say it was? Power A?
Power A Fusion Pro 2. That's what.
Fusion Pro
completely
2.
Off the top of my head. Lotus hasn't just written in the chat.
Oh, okay. All right. So, yeah, this is a premium version of it. Yeah, that looks miles better. Get rid of the cookies.
Yeah, so Xbox controller with paddles.
Yeah.
And probably more reliable than the Elites. Although I want to say I've never used the Elite. I've heard very mixed opinions. I've had some people that have tell me that they love their Xbox Elite controller and they've never had problems with it. But I also know other people that have had Xbox Elite controllers that have had issues with them repeatedly. Actually, it tends to be more people that I'm aware of that have had Elites have had issues with them than not. But it's horses for courses. Some have, some haven't. Okay, let me keep going through the comments so I can catch up whilst you're looking at that. Samson says, I'm skint. Most recent thing I've got is a Series S. I think the new Xbox controller is dog. Oh, really? See, what's the general consensus on the Xbox controller? Is it good? Is it bad? What do you guys think? Are we liking it in general? Fuck. Dogs. This fucking Twitch chat stuff on the dashboard is crap because it doesn't do the. Sorry, let's hold chat. It just keeps
mine does it.
Yeah, mine does every now and then, but then every now and then it just gives up. There's no option.
That's so weird.
So sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It just depends. It depends what mood it's in.
There's a chat PC one if you want to scroll through that instead.
Do you know what? That might be easier. It's just because of the emotes. When I'm on my screen, I can see it. Okay, there we go. Not comfy, no good joysticks. Contact me because I'd love to talk to you for advice. On what? we don't nothing. We know nothing. Timeless says, I get the whole idea. Xbox Cloud Gaming, Switch's portability, but I quite like having my gaming confined to my home. Enjoy the whole experience playing a game, make some snacks, making a nice drink, making a comfortable area to settle and relax and engrossing myself on an experience. I get the market and I get the idea, but I'm not a fan personally. Do you know what? You speak to a lot of people there, Timeless. I agree. A lot of people have the same opinion. It's the whole immersion. And breaking that immersion by being like, it's like, imagine, give me a key gaming moment. That bit where Solid Snake comes over the top of the cliff at Ground Zeroes and you hear Kiefer Sutherland's like, kept you waiting. And then someone goes, excuse me, is anyone sat there? It's like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, you wouldn't necessarily play those types of games on the go, would you? I mean, gaming on the go nowadays is your mobile throwaway games that you are going to be playing for 10 minutes at a time. You go out, you plant all your crops or whatever, and then you come back and you log back in 20 minutes time.
But that's the thing,
Pokemon
though. Like
well.
that doesn't speak to me. Yeah, that kind of game. So that's kind of the.
I agree.
It like
to a large extent.
Like it's it suits certain people, certain gamers, people in certain styles. But then again, a lot of people will play that kind of game, but they'll do the same sort of thing that maybe a Timeless and I would do. They'd get the brew, they'd get the drink, they'd whatever, and then they'd sit down on the couch and play their mobile games. So it works for some people, not so much for others in that sort of sense.
Yeah. You could say the same about games that you want to stream and not stream. I mean, like I was playing Guardians, I'm not going to stream it. I'm going to get comfortable in my brand new 4K 65-inch TV on the wall. Yeah, I'm going to be playing that. I'm going to be playing
just dancing into his living room.
So yeah, stuff like that I can absolutely understand. But there is definitely like people read on the. Like, I noticed that a lot when I was in London because obviously people are getting trains left, right, and centre from one side of London.
Kindles, everything.
Yeah, so they'll do that. But then there was people who were playing like FIFA Mobile and stuff like that on the phone. So there is definitely a market there for people to be able to game on the go.
It just gets lost on me because I want to use my full screen space. I've got an iPhone like X, like it's equivalent of the Max or whatever your latest one, big screen. I'd like to sit there with a controller, use my full control scheme that I'm used to. I've paid for a next gen console because I want next gen experiences, and playing something on a small screen doesn't necessarily mean I can't have next gen experiences. It's just that most games that are played on those screens are games that are defined and designed for those screens. Most games that are next gen are designed for next gen consoles. So I don't have that much time for it. So for me, it's kind of lost. But then again, I'm not the target audience in that sort of sense. Some people want to play games on the go.
Yeah. All right, curveball for you then. So if you was to be able to if you was able to use your PlayStation 5 controller on your mobile and you had Call of Duty Mobile or PES Mobile or PUBG Mobile available to you there, they are very small. You can play through a PUBG Mobile game 20 minutes if you're on a train or whatever and you had a stable connection. If you Call of Duty, you can have a map done in 8 minutes or something like that. Those are experiences that I probably would, if I wasn't a mobile gamer, that would be the gateway for me because they're not experiences. PUBG is not an experience. Call of Duty multiplayer is not an experience. It's something that's over like that. It's not something that you can be necessarily engrossed in. Would that be something that you would be more inclined to be able to try for the first time? And again, I'm not just speaking to you in this one. I'm speaking to you guys as well.
No, he's speaking to me.
Someone like Timeless who said that the idea of gaming on the go. I love the fact that I'll be able to play games anywhere that I want. If I wanted to go upstairs now and I want to play Halo Infinite, load up the Xbox app on my laptop here, plug in my Xbox controller, and I'm good to play Halo Infinite anywhere that I want. Doesn't necessarily have to be the best experience in the world, but I've got the opportunity to be able to do that. So if you had the opportunity to be able to play PUBG Mobile with your PlayStation controller, maybe in the front room, you got something on the TV that you don't have to pay attention to. Danielle's watching Setting Sunset like Samantha's been doing or whatever, and you think, I'll just sit downstairs for a bit. You got PUBG Mobile on the go. Is that an experience that you would like to be able to have at any given opportunity?
Kind of. But if I'm still at home, and then there's remote play options, I feel like just give me a fucking working option where I can just...
Was your Sky Internet?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Give me a working option. But that's it though. Like even with my Sky Internet, when I'm on it, it's fine. It's just when it goes, I've stopped working, and now I'm back again. But like, it's not so much the Sky Internet. It's just the infrastructures for all of that stuff is just trash. But if I'm sat in my home, I've got a PlayStation downstairs, a PlayStation upstairs, and I've got a PC as well. So I'd be more inclined to think, I can stay sat on the couch playing a subpar PUBG mobile game. It's not subpar. Content's actually really good, better than the console game. Yikes. Or I could just go and play for the full 4K experience or 1080p 60 FPS experience on my console, on my PC or whatever. So then I'd be like, okay, well, why don't I just do that instead? And that's kind of, I suppose that's where my problem is when I say this isn't designed for me, because I want the immersion, I want the deeper. The fact that I can see PUBG looking fucking amazing on PC and then looking reasonably decent on console and then looking like, wow, I've just had it drop down to like bottom scaling on PUBG Mobile. Plays perfectly well. Really, really good game. It obviously looks like you're playing a N64 kind of game, PlayStation 1 kind of game, and that's where my disconnect comes from me. So giving me a controller, a PlayStation controller on a mobile phone, that's kind of good news for me, because that's kind of hinting that, okay, you've got a DualSense 4 or a DS4 or a DualSense controller. You're probably going to get PlayStation experiences on a mobile soon, or at least that's what they've got to be angling for. We've got xCloud already delivering that, not flawlessly, but it's getting better. So if xCloud is starting to deliver that, then it kind of excites me. But then it just comes back to for me, why am I sticking? I've got a wide fecking phone as it is. That's fine. Okay, then I stick half a controller on that and half a controller on that. I'm holding on to something that's just fucking huge. So that's when I'm thinking, like, well, why am I not just using the DualSense controller there? If I'm playing gameplay experiences, why am I not doing that? That said, there was a comment in the chat where, I don't know if it's there, Tito did say something along the lines of, he's tried that, and it feels too top-heavy after a while, which kind of makes sense. I'll carry on going through the chat anyway, though. David says, whenever I hear someone say Rizakishi, all I can think of is that it sounds like Snoop Dogg trying to say Rikishi as the wrestler. Rizakishi. I use mine on holiday instead of taking my console with me, but I agree, I'm not much of a gamer on the go. Same. Tizbad, hey! No need for it at all, says Timeless. Nintendo Switch surely trumps all other current handhelds. It does.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I've got I can't play Skyrim on mobile, but I can play it on my Nintendo Switch.
The thing is, though, is that's games built for platform. If PlayStation just suddenly starts going, actually, we're going to stick our PlayStation games onto mobile through streaming stuff. It's like PlayStation Now doesn't even work flawlessly. So you're trying to tell me that I can play my PlayStation games, that I can play on my PlayStation, but not very well on a mobile. It's going to be even worse. Yeah. So Nintendo Switch builds for that purpose, which is why it's not going to be touched. Bibby, you split your Wi-Fi band yet?
Yes, I've done all of that. I figured out how to do it, and even on my phone it says that it's a 5G connection through my phone or through the Wi-Fi. So I've got 2.4 or 5 gigahertz, both of them. It just, I don't know. I just can't get it to work.
My superior Sky already split me. I've got 2 connections. Neither of them work. Yeah. Also, mobiles are more than enough games for me to keep me entertained. I mainly read, listen to music and podcasts when I'm... mouse stop for a second then. When I'm out and about. Did you hear Elder Scrolls on handheld?
Yeah, Elder Scrolls Blades. It came out like 2 years ago and it's absolutely toilet.
Yeah, we've had this conversation before. I'd heard of that one. And I'd ignore all Elder Scrolls conversations because tedious. Anyway, handheld consoles are only as good as games available. The PSP was great because there were loads of games. The Vita was a car crash from launch, and support from Sony died shortly afterwards. If they're going back into Nintendo's backyard, then they need to go in hard, balls out. I agree, and that's the thing for me is I would
love... It's a perfect
love
console, though.
The Switch?
The Vita, it had everything going for it. It just didn't have the support. Like, build quality, fantastic. Battery life, fantastic. Launch games, pretty decent.
The thing is, though, is like you get something that doesn't look like a surefire winner, and corporations shit themselves. And the Switch didn't look like a surefire winner. The Switch came out and it was like, fuck it, one side of it's blue, one side of it's red. Are you taking the piss? But Nintendo were just like, the phrase, and this is the phrase that I always attribute to like Ice Cream Uploads and all content creation in general. So there's an ancient philosopher called Tiny Temper.
Okay.
And it's written in the stars, and it says, "Everyone's the kid that no one cares about. That's why you got to keep screaming till they hear you out." Oh, written in this. But that's it as a content creator. You start off small, no one gives a shit. You speak to brand companies, they don't give a shit. I'm not sponsoring you. You keep going. You keep going. You make your content. You keep going. You build yourself an audience. You build yourself a community. Content creators suddenly start working together with you, and all of a sudden the brands, I want to work with you. And it's the same thing with the Switch. The Nintendo Switch came out, and it was this weird thing that people just didn't understand. But then Nintendo was like, okay, we're going to put some games on it. Yeah, we're not sure we're going to. The Wii U was a bit crap. We all jumped off that bandwagon. We're not sure. And then all of a sudden, people started realizing, okay, there's a reason for this. Whereas Sony went, the PSP was pretty well received, but not really great. So the Vita looks like it might be kind of... let's give up straight away. And they all just stepped away from it. It's like you've got an awkward mate that's either going to be accepted by a group and be the life of a party, or it's like, I've never even met him. And PlayStation turned their backs on their awkward mate, their Vita, because they didn't want to explain it. If people didn't get it from the off, we're not going to explain it. Whereas Nintendo was like, actually, you've not got this. Let me explain it to you. And then the Switch is here and it's everywhere. So you can't compete with the Switch in that ballpark. PlayStation didn't put the time and effort in. So if PlayStation want me to play my console experiences on the go, I'll try it, but I'm not convinced. If I'm on the go, I'd rather take the Switch. 100%.
Yeah. It's a no-brainer. Like I said, if I can play the games that I actually want to play, like of all the games, like I love playing PGA golf. I hate the fact that you have to be online to be able to play it. Otherwise, you're just playing it. Like when I was on the train, I was like, right, okay, play some PGA, go through my career mode on it. You didn't have access to be able to play your career mode, which I think is abysmal. You shouldn't be able to do that at all. Mario Golf don't let me do that. Do you know what I mean? I can play through a campaign on that, which is exactly what I did on the train instead.
Me playing PUBG on the go does not going to happen because it's always an online game.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's different. Obviously,
fit for purpose. Yeah, fit for purpose. That's all you want. If you have that, like say the PSP coming out, and then you're able to play your Grand Theft Autos on the go. You're able to play your Pro Evos on the go. Like, was it Snake Eater that you could play on the PSP as well?
There was a few. So on the PS, oh no, it's Vita. I'm thinking of PS Vita had Metal Gear Solid HD Collection, which had two. One, was it one? I can't remember. I think it was
just
1,
2,
2,
and
and 3 or something like that. And what was it called? I've let myself down. There's another Peace Walker. There we go.
Yeah.
Got it.
In the end, we got there. But yeah, having those experiences to be able to play on the go, they are full. I agree with what Simon was saying before, because they are experiences. That's the kind of thing, like, would you want to play an experience on a handheld console, like a full-blown Metal Gear Solid campaign? That's the kind of thing that you would be playing in your front room, maybe in a dark room with your earphones in, being able to play. But like, where do people sit on that? Because it's a handheld game meant for on the go, but you're having these experiences.
See, I played through. That's one of the few games that I played through on my PS Vita. I played through all of Snake Eater on mine, and did all of the I can't remember the name of it. That mythical snake sort of missions. I went through and got all of that sort of shit. But maybe that's because I'd already been through that 10, 15 years beforehand on the PS2, PS3, whatever it was. Possibly. But it was good because it was built for purpose. There was no like plugging my phone in and being mid-game and then getting a WhatsApp message popping up or whatever. Or I'm like, oh, fucking big boss fight now. I've lost 3 times. I need to make sure I get. And then it's like I accidentally pressed the fact that Vern's just gone live. But fuck, I've jumped into the Cyborg arena now. Fuck's sake, Vern. God damn it. So yeah. Okay, we'll speed up. We've got a lot of comments that we've got to catch up on. So let me just start going down then. I tried that, but I found it very top-heavy, grain for long periods. Controllers are made to be well-balanced for comfort. Those that clip on just unbalance it too much. See, that's the thing, though. It's just like, which is the lesser of two evils? Because having your arms all the way out here, holding onto the end of your mobile phone screens with the controllers, I mean, obviously it's going to be there.
Equally as awkward.
Yeah, I don't know what... I just feel like... At least with a controller in that sort of sense, you've got the touchpad and you've got the capture button, you've got the options button. And if I'm using it, say, clamped to my Scuff controller, I've got my sticks, the Fusion Pro or whatever, I've got the paddles and stuff on the back. Whereas a mobile developed one won't have that. So that as a controller, by definition, is inferior. So it's just, yeah. Couldn't you disable the touchpad on the Vita? Yeah, but it was used as L2 and R2 more often than not. So if you touch the right side of the touchpad, it was R2 or RT, and left side L2, LT. Speaking of gaming on the go, you heard about the the xCloud Clarity Boost? No. Do you know any?
I did see murmurs of that. It only works on Microsoft Edge though. It's like a optimization thing.
Ah, okay.
So it's just like enabling HDR kind of thing. It's just a toggle, but I think it's only available on Microsoft Edge. It's not available on anything else.
That wouldn't surprise me. Microsoft, looking after their own. Honestly, good browser that apparently. Microsoft Edge. It's literally my other Twitch account login.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Moisture. Lotus. My hands ache just looking at that. Says Vern. Which one was that one, Vern? Was that the Kishi or the PlayStation controller? It reminds me of the Steel Battalion controller, Fusion Pro 2. They sold loads when they came out. I thought it was the Cronus Max. That is what he uses, to be fair.
Do you remember seeing the Steel Battalion controller?
No.
So it was a game. I'm sure it was on the original Xbox, and it was one of them mech warrior games. So you're in like a big mech thing,
Do
you have all the sliders and the foot pedals and the.
I say no, but I think you've actually showed me on the scoop about 18 months ago, something like that. I'm pretty sure
it's a doozy. Like you could buy expansions for it, so it would be like 5 panels long and
it's
shit.
Like a Steel Battalion cockpit. What the fuck? Paddles are smooth. I only use 2. Elite 2 sucks. I really like the Elite controllers. Never had an issue with either of mine, and had both since launch. See, that's the thing. I know people that have had tons of issues. I know people that have sent them back, and I know people that haven't as well. So it's just par for the course, and it's kind of like getting Red Ring of Death. Loads of people have it. It's widespread enough for it to be common, but some people never had it. I had Red Ring of Death 3 times. Fucker. I like it. It is way too expensive, I will admit. Exactly. For me personally, mobile have the casual on-the-go gaming market. FIFA, PES, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Alex the Kid, Sonic, Mario, these types of games suit the handheld gaming market. What did you say then?
Golden Axe.
Oh, I used to love Golden Axe. FPS, no. PUBG, no. But the others as above, yes. I mean, the only thing you could do on that is like PUBG simulation games, so bot lobbies, 100% bot lobbies. But would that really be?
You can't use controller on PUBG though. It's a criminal. That shouldn't be. That's not a thing. Call of Duty Mobile, PUBG Mobile, you can't use controllers with it. It's bizarre.
I don't understand what the reasoning for that is. That I can only feel like it's got to be some esports relevant stuff, because PUBG Mobile esports is big. PUBG Mobile is massive, and I can only assume the reason they don't allow any Bluetooth peripherals is just to keep a level playing field. So people playing on phone and tablet, and tablet and phone could be Android or iOS or whatever, Linux-based systems if it runs on probably. And I just assume they've gone, oh well, all of market is let's have no restrictions.
Bizarre.
Which does kind of make sense when you tie in the fact that PUBG Mobile is massive in the likes of India, where assumptions and generalizing stereotyping. Let's say maybe there's not enough hardware supplies of controllers in India. Maybe they cost too much or whatever. So just having it on the phone is the way to go. Maybe that's I don't know. I assume there's got to be some economic or socio-economic reasoning for it, rather than.
If the play base is that big, they can easily filter people out. Like you can with the filters in terms of mouse and keyboard and console control players. Surely there's enough people to be able to filter that shit out.
Is it a cheating thing? Like, as soon as you allow Bluetooth connectivity, does that allow hacks and stuff, which brings your sports into disrepute? Yeah. I don't know. There has to be a reason. And the thing is, if it was PUBG console or PUBG PC, I'd be like, maybe they just. Oh shit! Yeah, we didn't realise we didn't have them on.
Yeah.
Whereas it's PUBG Mobile, which is run by Tencent, and they are on point with their content, with their marketing, with their launch, with their seasons, with their campaigns and stuff. So I wouldn't have thought they'd just bumbled
the
that
ball.
one.
Yeah.
Nokia Engage, says Noob. David had that. He had I think every Engage phone that there was. The Switch was out of stock and not readily available for nearly a year after release. Regardless of luck, it was an insanely popular console. It's still the fastest selling console since the PS2. Yeah, the thing is though, it was out of stock, but that wasn't necessarily.
It was out of stock last year.
Yeah, I mean that was a bit different. Last year was out of stock because of massive demand, whereas it was out of stock earlier because it was supply versus demand, but there wasn't really a huge supply. There was, when the Switch first launched, it was one of those where Nintendo fans bought into it, but others were apprehensive at first. After the Wii U, Wii U lost third-party support super quickly, like the Vita did, and it died a death very, very quickly. The Switch, a lot of people were like, across the whole industry as well, not just my friends and family base, a lot of people were like, I'm not sure if I can trust Nintendo now. If I buy into this, is it going to be the next Dreamcast? Are we going to see Nintendo fold here? I mean, how little did they know? I mean, Switch now is what is it? Is it the second best-selling console of all time?
Yeah, the PS2.
Yeah. So, is that what are they? Timeless said fastest. It's definitely in that conversation anyway, because it's just passed the DS on it recently. Yeah. So now look at it, absolutely incredible. But off the back of the Wii U, it was one of those. But Nintendo peddled it. Nintendo pushed it. Nintendo was like, okay, we're going to get you Breath of the Wild, and all of the games that those that got a Wii U that knew it had 10 out of 10 games although it didn't deliver on its concept, we're going to give you those 10 out of 10 experiences. So we've got no third-party games really to begin with, but we'll get you Breath of the Wild, and we'll optimize it so it works perfectly for that, and we'll give you other things.
When you've got Breath of the Wild being the most... Like it's one of those games that is a must-play. It's an absolute must-play, especially for anyone who has had any experience with Zelda in the past. Like this, that is a must-play. And then you have things like Splatoon coming over, and then Mario Kart,
and then
being repackaged
Animal
up again.
Crossing.
Yeah.
And so they use their own portfolio. For a long period of time, it was pretty much just that. But then you started to get things that push the envelope a little bit in terms of quality of design. So like the what was it called? Nintendo, not Nintendo, Luigi's Mansion, stuff like that. They started to have, actually, do you know what? This is a fucking solid game in its own right, and it's not a Wii U game. This is a new one. And then you eventually get the Dooms and things start porting game overs, and it's like, okay, everyone's now going, fuck, okay, we should actually start moving shit over there as well now. If we can do that quite easily. And then before all of that, you also get we'll get Fortnite, and we'll work crossplay with Xbox as well. So yeah, nice.
More Pokemon games. I imagine we're going to get a massive sales boost again in February, if and when Pokemon Arceus ends up getting released. Like people will go out and buy. I'm looking at potentially getting a new Nintendo Switch just to be able to play that. I've already got one, but I want an OLED one to be able to play the new Pokemon game. So again, the sales. I'm going to be part of that sales cycle twice. I imagine more people will be doing the same. I imagine more people who've been waiting for this for the last 20 years, an open world Pokemon game, will be like, okay, now's the time for me to get into a Nintendo Switch. It's bizarre.
Yeah, that's a big issue. So many games on PlayStation and Xbox now rely on online connections. Handheld is not a great concept to support that on the go. Yeah. Some of us are used to holding big things in our hands. Wait, that came out wrong, says Tito. Although he did say bug things, and bugs are quite small, so I don't think that came out wrong. I think that came out exactly how it meant to. Some of us are used to holding bug things.
But I say he must just be using the Xbox Duke controller instead all the time, so that's what he's referring to.
Timeless says Microsoft Edge can get in the bin. It's actually decent, you know. It's actually not. It's not too bad. I mean, Microsoft will always. I mean, the fact that it has an E in it, and we've all grown up to know that Internet Explorer is like, nah. I think they've kind of dropped the ball by using the E and calling it Edge. So it's tarnished a little bit, but it's actually not bad. It's not a bad browser at all. New Edge is decent, to be fair, since it went Chromium, says Tito. See, still got the original Engage. Don't know what happened to my Engage QD. Sold it, mate. Yeah, the Wii U support died within months. Interesting for me, Breath of the Wild wasn't a traditional Zelda game at all, hence why it was so much more popular than any Zelda game that came before. That was the perfect case study of taking something old and turning it into something new whilst keeping it as something old at the same time. All
like
Zelda
a Ubisoft
fans
game. Felt like a Ubisoft game without going into different camps.
To the point where Ubisoft copied it and didn't do it as well. But it was still Zelda, but it was new. Yeah. And they've nailed that. The OLED is nice, but not essential. No, it will never be my go-to browser. By the way, hashtag ad, hashtag spawn, hashtag no, we're not really. Use whatever you want, mate. We had a load to sell in the store I worked at. Didn't sell a single one. Having to turn it off, take out the battery to swap out games was stupid. Yay! Fully reboot the entire system after you've changed the game. Chrome is a bastard with RAM. It hogs so much. Edge does everything Chrome does and more, using less resources. Yeah, I still use Chrome because I'm fully set up in Chrome and I've got all sorts of Google bits and stuff. But it's a dick. And what baffles me more than anything is the fact that Chrome hasn't wised up to that. Google haven't gone, do you know what? We're going to change this. We've got the best browser. They're pretty much at the moment right now where Firefox were 10 years ago. Yeah. Going, no one's going to stop us. It's PlayStation in first place. That's Google Chrome. We're in first place. Everyone uses Chrome. And then all of a sudden, oh shit, no one's using it anymore. Oh no, we're on a single chip.
Got off through fuck all.
Exactly. So anyway, let's move ahead. So that was us talking about the fact that PlayStation is back in the handheld game and a lot of other tangents too. So basically, if you've got yourself a mobile phone and you want to play PlayStation games on the go, there is a new peripheral potentially on the way. It's only a patent at the moment, but a PlayStation 4 controller with a bit in the middle for your phone. Nice. If we get any more news on that, we will keep you posted. But for now, we will jump into a conversation on PC gaming. Let me take the news off screen, actually, that discussing now. As this one says, from Chris Scullion at VGC, as GOG posts a year-to-date loss, CD Projekt pledges to bring it back to basics. The online store will return to a curated selection of DRM-free games. CD Projekt will be reorganizing GOG to focus on its core business activity. That's a quote, by the way. Following news that it's been losing money. The online store launched in 2008 as Good Old Games and focused on a carefully curated collection of older games with no DRM. In the years that have followed, it's become more like other conventional online game stores like Steam and the Epic Game Store. During a presentation on CD Projekt's Q3 revenue for 2021, however, it was revealed that GOG is losing the company money with year-to-date losses of $2.21 million compared to a year-to-date gain of $1.37 million during the same period last year. To fix this, CD Projekt CFO Peter Nublovic, that's what we're going with, stated during the presentation that GOG was going to see some organisational changes that would return it back to what made it popular in the first place. Quote, regarding GOG, its performance does present a challenge and recently we've taken some measures to improve its financial standing, Nublovic said. First and foremost, we've decided that GOG should focus more on its core business activity, which means offering a hand-picked selection of games with its uniquely DRM-free philosophy. In line with this approach, there will be changes in the team's structure. According to Nublovic, some GOG developers... Okay, that quote didn't actually end. Okay, I'm assuming that was end of quote. Okay. According to Nublovic, some GOG developers who have been working on online solutions will be transferring to other parts of the company. GOG will also be leaving the Gwent consortium, a project CD Projekt had been running with numerous department-based... Okay, I'm assuming that should be departments. Yeah, with numerous departments based on the Witcher's card game spin-off Gwent. Quote, this means that it will neither bear its portion of expenses nor obtain the corresponding share of revenues associated with this project, Nublovic explained. He concluded, alongside all these changes we initiated through organisation of GOG's operations, we believe that all of the changes we're introducing will allow GOG to focus more on its core business and improve its financial effectiveness in 2022. I'll leave it there. We don't need to look at the elsewhere. So GOG is not the only online store that is losing money, but it went from gaining 1.3 billion last year. Was it billions? Or was it millions? Millions. 1.3 million profit last year to 2.2 million deficit this year. What are your thoughts, babe?
I think this is going to be the case across the board because a lot more people was at home last year. I probably had a little bit more extra money because they wasn't going out every single weekend or they wasn't buying clothes to go out in or whatever else. So people probably had more money to be able to spend last year because we was all at home. I imagine they are smart enough to realise that too, to realise that they probably would have had a dip in money being spent this year because, again, people are allowed to go out now, so they're probably not spending all evening and their weekends at home playing video games. I imagine they're smart enough to be able to do that. But in going back to basics, we'll have to wait and see because, like you said, like the mention there, their basic stuff was what managed to get them the recognition in the first place. They've obviously evolved in that, but technology has to evolve. I don't know what they think they're going to gain by reverting everything back. Are people just going to think, that we like the old stuff, or they're going to go back to it and start spending more money? I don't believe that is the case.
Yeah, it's like you've progressed and you've done something. So you're saying regression is better?
Yeah.
And like they've invested tons of money in terms of infrastructure, in terms of staffing and all the rest. It just, I don't know. It feels like an interesting situation. A part of me is also wondering, they got 2.2 million profit the year before. Is that because they were like, pre-order Cyberpunk on GOG.com now, pre-order this? Or also we're doing all these other things to get people to buy. So they had like loads of sales and loads of marketing leading up to the launch of Cyberpunk. And then everyone was like, well, that was a bit crap.
Yeah.
What else do I need that I can only get on GOG.com that I can't get anywhere else? Not much. So, I mean, that's going to be a big part of it. Their flagship title let them down as well. So that's going to be...
I feel like, how do they move on with this? Like, they can't regress. You can't roll your technology back.
No. Yeah, we started out doing this and we realised it wasn't enough, so we wanted more. And then we realised more was actually even less. So we're going to go back to what wasn't enough in the first place. Was it just greed, or was it just not enough? It's an interesting one to see, because we've got Steam, we've got Epic, we've got GOG, and there's a million other things out there. All of the individual launches, the EA Origin and the UB whatever. And it's like there's not enough space in the market for everyone to have their own store. And users don't want that. Users will have multiple launchers to an extent. A lot of people just want Steam. Some people will like, well, I'm not even going to get Epic. I know I get free games every week. But why would I bother having another launcher when I can just run it in Steam? I'm not going to play most of those games anyway, so I'll just stick with Steam. So having that and then I don't have GOG.com because I'm kind of like that. I don't play too much of my games on my PC, so having
every single launcher possible.
Well, I'm fed up of having like all my launchers popping up. I mean, I've killed them all now, so they don't boot. But I'd turn on my PC and I'd get Origin and I'd get Battle.net and I'd get Steam and I'd get Epic.
Ubisoft.
Get out of here. Yeah. This was DRM-free old school games were always going to be games that didn't really speak to me. That was more kind of a Bibby sort of realm kind of thing. So then putting, okay, we're going to go into more modern stuff. Okay, that now gets my attention. And they go, actually, we're just going to go back to the old school stuff. It's like, you're doing the same thing as everyone else, but lesser. Surely I think something like limited run games speaks to an old school gamer much more than a GOG.com. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see them regress and then rescind and go, do you know what, actually, it's probably not even the right word, I just went for the re. So regress and re-bugger off, recollapse. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see GOG.com disappear after this. But we'll see. Not much more to say on that. We'll move ahead. Athanos Soul says in the chat, 1 hour in and we've covered one story. It's the scoop. This is what we all tune in for, right? Okay, next story. Halo Infinite. Should be on your screen now. Let me take off the previous title as well. Halo Infinite will give more XP for players the first 6 multiplayer games each day. Starting on Wednesday, that's tomorrow, players will get XP quicker for simply playing the game. This is written by Chris Scullion at VGC, and the body of the article says, Halo Infinite's online multiplayer continues to see tweaks to its progression system, with changes being made to the amount of XP players get per multiplayer game. 343 Industries community manager John Junishek, that's what we're going for, explained on Twitter today, explained on Twitter today that the development team was continuing to listen to player feedback and change the way XP is earned as a result of this. Quote, when we made our initial change to progression, which added daily play one game challenges, updated weekly challenges, and doubled the duration of 2 XP boosts, we promised that we'd monitor the data and make additional changes if needed, Junishek said. Now it's time to follow up on that. After seeing how XP was earned with those changes, we noticed that players were starting their sessions with slower payouts than we'd like. To address this, we will be increasing the XP payout for the first 6 matches of each day. Players will now get more XP for the first 6 games they play every day, with the amount of XP slowly decreasing until the 7th game, at which point it will remain at 50 XP per game. The first game will earn players 300 XP, followed by 200 XP for games 2 and 3, then 100 XP for games 4, 5, and 6. Quote, we believe this will help address those slower initial payouts, whilst also benefiting those of you jumping on each and every day, Janishek said. We know how many of you want even larger changes, and we're committed to doing so, but those will take time. We made this update based on data and player feedback, and we'll monitor its impact after we push it live tomorrow morning. The head of design of Halo Infinite said earlier this week that he feels everyone's pain when it comes to progression in Halo Infinite's free-to-play online multiplayer. Jerry Hook stated on Twitter that the situation remains the top priority for the dev team and promised that it would return when it would return from holiday this week. The first thing he would do was tweak the XP progression system. We'll leave it there.
Yeah, you don't need to do anything.
We'll leave it there. Good or bad? Yay or nay? Is this good? Is this needed? What are your thoughts, babe?
I think it's just teething issues again, isn't it? They're still trying to find the balance. Like they mentioned that they was going to look at it repeatedly and make sure that it's fair. And again, it's just teething issues. It's the first time that they have put in something that's. They've already had a battle pass previously, but this is now a free-to-play game where everyone can get involved. So they're probably having a lot more voices screaming at them. You got more chance of casual players coming in and just jumping in and playing a few games. It'll take them forever to get through the battle pass, rather than the hardcore who probably already got it completed by now. So yeah, again, it's just teething issues and trying to find the balance for it. I'm sure they'll get there. They'll definitely get there. I have every faith that 343 are going to get there in terms of the balance with the battle pass and how many games that you have to play. they're just going to keep on chucking stuff at it and then monitoring it, chucking stuff at it and then monitoring it, and eventually they'll find the balance. So again, it's another great move by them. We mentioned yesterday. Was it yesterday? It might have even been last week about the battle pass stuff and how long.
Last week, that one.
How long it takes people to be able to get through them and what people need to do to be able to.
Certain weeks that you have to play. So it's not perfect, it's not fixed, and there are other issues and stuff in there. That said, it's good to see so much stuff being done so quickly, so much feedback being done already. The fact that they're already working on the cheating stuff. Halo has, and I mean in this in a respectful way, Halo has a shit time ahead of it. It does. Like any shooter does. It's bad enough being Call of Duty and coming out every year. It's bad enough being Battlefield and coming out every year. Halo, which is... Halo Infinite is a game that they said they could potentially have a 10-year game on their hands here. They've gone through... Obviously, the last 12 months have been a bit rocky based off of where we were with Craig 12 months ago. But now we're at a good point where Halo is exceptional. But Halo has put a target on its back by being so big, by being so good, that people are going to come for it. So Halo has a rocky time with all of that sort of stuff anyway. That stuff is going to be unavoidable. There will be guaranteed conversations about cheating. Newspapers and magazines and websites will get fatigued with that as well, to the point where we'll probably get the call, there's more cheating in Halo. Halo Infinite, more like Halo Cheatfinite, am I right? The news will go that way. It will do eventually. And it'll be unfortunate when it does. It will always happen. However, right now, all the signs that we wanted from when Call of Duty Warzone first took off, we said, we need to see them. We need to see action. We need to see banning updates. We need to see this. And for a few weeks, we got 200,000 players, 300,000 players, and then it just kind of petered out. And these, at the moment, aren't petering out. We've got tweaks to the progression stuff. We've got some cheat updates and so on. They want to do bigger sweeping changes, but won't do that until they've got data and stuff to go with it. The noises from 343 Industries is exactly what people could hope to hear right now, and they're nailing it in that sort of sense. They're not nailing everything, they're nailing their attempts to nail it, if that makes sense. But yeah, geez. This was the story I was referring to when I said said about time earlier. Halo XP story, says Timeless. Good that they're listening and implementing changes this quickly. Bodes well for the future of the game. To be fair to 343 and Microsoft, they've always been very good at listening, responding to community feedback. Exactly. I mean, they are first party, so they kind of have to be. If they fail, then that's Xbox failing. That's Microsoft's own console service failing. So they kind of have to be. But then again, sometimes consoles and services fail, and they haven't done that, and they're not doing it right now. So it's good to see. Some things aren't perfect. Their first live service game isn't perfect to begin with. Shock horror, but they're improving it. So, yeah, nice. Great idea to have ever-evolving, expanding universe for Halo. If done right, could be a game changer for games going forward. Exactly. Anyway, we'll put a pin in that one as we jump.
About this one, I think I've got a lot to say about this. I think it'll be better be shelved till tomorrow.
Just talk fast.
Okay.
God. Okay. Well, do you know what? We're not going to tell you about the last one. I'll tell you what it was going to be, because we did speak about it earlier. Generation Zero is the latest surprise arrival on Xbox Game Pass. Do you want to know what that is? Well, you can tune in tomorrow, 10 a.m-ish, twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads, because we aren't going to go through it today. We have been live for an hour and 17 minutes. So we're about an hour and 10-ish. So yeah, by the time we've done that, we'll probably be an hour and a half-ish. So we'll save it for tomorrow. So the news, to give you a recap, what we did go over, though, is the fact that Sony has a patent for a mobile controller. So if you want to play your PlayStation on the go, well, it looks like they're looking at that, influenced by Xbox. Who knows? I mean, they've been looking at that for a few years anyway. But patents could be in its moving forward, or it could just be another one of those patents that gets signed and we never see again. GOG.com is reorganizing and focusing its business after it loses 2.21 million in the last year. And Halo Infinite will give more XP to players in their first few games of every day in order to try and balance out progression, which is nice. But that's it. So we'll jump on to the Generation Zero story tomorrow. Let me just jump through the last few comments in the chats. Yeah, very, very true, Graham. Great point. Dressed like twinsies. Exactly. Spike, we spoke about this first thing as well. We even spoke about it before we got on stream. We mentioned it upstairs. The very first thing when I sat next to Bibby at his desk this morning, and someone mentioned something. Was it Luke said, you two looking casual with your hats? And Bibby went, and matching white hoodies.
For fuck's sake. I'm wearing black tracky bottoms underneath here, which you can't see. Graham's wearing jeans, but from the waist up.
Black tracky bottoms, yeah. And Crocs.
Yeah. Comfort, mate. I'm not an idiot.
I mean, if we're being honest, this is actually an ice blue shade of white, whereas yours is plain white.
Plain white.
But you know, the internet doesn't care. They're not bothered about the facts, are we? No,
they can't see the dual.
I mean, mine does have some black lining inside there. Yours doesn't. Yeah, but it doesn't care about facts. That's fine. It's fine. We do try to dress alike. Just let it go. You have me on the edge of my seat, baby. I want to know your feelings on Halo.
Ooh, Halo.
And you're making me wait until tomorrow.
Absolutely.
I mean, we can give you some feelings on Halo. What are your feelings on Halo, baby?
I like Halo.
There you go. Nice. Nice. Tune in for other groundbreaking opinions like that one tomorrow.
That's going to be on the front cover, isn't it? ICU, 5 stars. I like Halo.
We need to. Yeah, that's it. We need to get. If we ever get some Corey Balrog, is it Balrog?
Balrog.
Yeah, I always want to say Balrog because he's the boxer from Street Fighter.
Okay.
Balrog. Anyway, if we interview Corey Balrog, not Balrog anymore, Mr. Balrog, the boxer from Street Fighter, like Mr. He made God of War, by the way, Ragnarok and stuff like that. So what do you think about God of War? We'll script him beforehand, so he just goes, I like God of War.
Kratos is bald.
You what?
Kratos is bald.
Yeah, exactly.
Kratos is a B-Tech Spike.
He is. Kratos wishes he was Big Zombie Monkey. Honestly. That actually explains a lot. I met Spike in Windsor, and he wanted a drink from the fridge, and he just screamed, "Boy!" and
then ripped the fridge out.
I give him the can of deep and open, just bit the top of it straight away. Pow. Bibby Halo stream. I mean, we're gonna do some Halo streams. I mean, not multiplayer. We will do the co-op campaign when that's added. Bibby, what are you doing any multiplayer?
I do want to do some multiplayer, yeah, because me and Tito are going to run through some multiplayer stuff. I'm sure Jordan will want to jump in as well. But my Xbox should be arriving within the next week or so. So that's something that I definitely want to be able to get set up. But Spike said you should do Halo Red versus Blue with Bibby being a captain and Graham being a captain. Remember the last time that we did that? I think it's fair. I think it's actually, is it in our role, in our B role? When we did Pez?
Pez. With the oh no, I didn't go.
Yeah, like when we did it, it was 11v11, wasn't it? So you had a team and I had a team. That was fucking hilarious, by the way. But yeah, we have done that kind of stuff it was really, really good. So yeah, definitely would look at trying to do stuff like that in the future.
I don't think it was even for the win. I think it was to stop me getting the L. I think it was. I seem to remember. I could be wrong. Like you were 1-0 up or something like that in the 11v11, and we needed to score. It's like 90th minute. Or whatever. The ball fell on the edge of the box. Someone had a shot, came off the post, and some fumbly shit, and then it finally went in, and I lost my mind because it was like, yeah!
Is it actually in our B-roll at the beginning? I don't know if it is.
It was in the intro stuff. I think it might have been edited. I think it might have been in the intro video V1, whereas we're on V2 for the intro video.
Right.
There is still a clip on the channel of it somewhere.
Yeah, that was hilarious. That was back in the day where we used to have 2 monitors in here. I'd be off the side of the stage, you'd be on here in front of the camera, and we'd just play games.
I think you were there maybe, and I was here because I ended up like humping you, grabbing a ball, throwing it, wheeling me around the desk.
Good old times.
So if you want to see me hump Bibby and wheel him around, do feel free to join us again on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. But for now, we are done for today. We do stream 7 days a week, 10 a.m. ish on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. Monday to Friday gets you the scoop. That is our video game podcast, like this one. Saturday and Sunday, we do bring you some gameplay. Saturday, some PUBG. Sunday, we bring you some Skyrim. And the same again on a Wednesday and a Thursday evening. Some PUBG and Skyrim, respectively. Skyrim? Nice.
Skyrim!
Nice. If you want some Skyrim, join Bibby on a Thursday or a Sunday. PUBG, Wednesday, Saturday. It's nice. We are going to disappear, though. We're going to drop a raid on one of our friends, so don't go anywhere. Because if we do drop a raid, you get some extra sprinkles. If, like Timeless, you are saving up for a mod application, it's only 280,000 sprinkles off. Well, sticking around for the raid will get him a few extra sprinkles to tick that bonus off. So do feel free to stick around for the raid, not only for the extra sprinkles, but also because of the fact that if you do, you make someone's day. Dropping a raid on someone's channel on Twitch is a big, big thing. So do it. Do it. Baby's found the clip.
I have found the clip. Oh, yes. Okay, what a guess that was.
So, do you know what? We're going to keep this on the screen. This is our clip of the bit that we were just talking about. So this was our 11v11 stream. We're here, by the way. This is us before. This is our 11v11 stream. As you can see just above us, this was in the build-up to Score Against Cancer. Was it 2017, 2018?
This was PES 2018.
So it must have been... Score Against Cancer 2018, then it must have been, I imagine. But yeah, because
look at how many people are playing this. That is fucking hilarious.
Just curses everywhere. So at this point, oh no, it is, yeah, 2-1 down. Arsenal 2, Liverpool 1. I can't remember who was leading.
I think I was Arsenal.
Yeah, I just can't remember who picked the teams for us, because I don't think we picked... Oh, did we pick the teams?
I can't remember.
Anyway, yeah, let's go.
Ooh, where's my cursor? It's fucking wheeling me round. I forgot about that bit.
Good girl, chaps.
Absolute crock of shit. Oh, yeah, we definitely need to get some 11v11 going at some point again, because that was just such a graceful winner. I was going to get tipped. Oh, so yeah, stay tuned for more ice cream upload stuff.
Such a graceful winner. That wasn't even a win. You can tell me a United fan when I get that excited for rescuing a point.
Tell me you're a United fan without telling me you're a United fan.
It wasn't even the fact it was draw. It was the banter that was leading up to that point, because there were so many community people involved in that game, and we were just about to lose. It was like, whew, save some face, baby.
I'm going to drop this in the chat for anyone else who potentially hasn't seen it, because I might end up sharing this in ICU in a bit, if I'm being honest. Absolute banger. Oh, that's definitely not. That's that post about Game Pass then.
Nice. Okay, well, whilst he does that, I'm going to throw up the end slate. Stick around for the raid, though. We are going to raid one of our friends. Do drop in. When you drop into the chat, just go in with a message. This is my stage. This is my stage. But that's it from us, though. Have yourselves... Actually... Is there anything you want to add, babe? I've not even done
that. Yeah, you know where to find us.
Nice. Exclamation mark Discord, socials, it's all in the chat. Click the links. Until next time, have a good day.
And stay frosty.